Thanks for watching RTM1. See you next week. Oh, sorry. Um, I'm Rob, and ta-da! This is the big show. There's like fireworks going off. This past weekend was Thanksgiving and Black Friday. I passed up posting a video next week because I figured Thanksgiving, a lot of people were probably busy. That and I was a little bum rushed. I had to work a lot of overtime before the holiday weekend, and then holiday weekend, it was time to take some days off. So, apologies for a little bit of a long drag between this episode and the last, but running on fumes sometimes. For Black Friday, I didn't really buy too much Transformers stuff, though I did end up buying some Transformers stuff. Bought some GDOs, Power Dive, Springer, and Wheelie at retail price without saving any money. Though at Five Below, they had Dark of the Moon Deluxes, so I grabbed Thundercracker finally for $5. So got them for Five Below's normal retail price. So I'll just kind of act like I got sales price. Oh, but I did at Toys R Us take advantage of one of their sales they had, where they had like buy one get one free DS games or whatnot. And I got the DS version of the Transformers Prime game for $1. I wanted the 3DS version, or perhaps the Wii, or if I ever get a Wii U, which I kind of plan to buy at tax money, um, maybe that version. But since it was $1, I got the DS version, and I'll be honest with you, after playing 3DS games for a year, that step back in graphics was kind of a shock I wasn't expecting. However, it's the exact same game across all systems, just different graphical presentation and controls, so it wasn't really that bad. I will say, one thing that did get me is, I don't know if this is in all versions, the graphical presentation was uneven. Like, they'd have video that was made for, I guess, the show editors or whatever, to present plot, but then sometimes it'd be just still frame pictures with voices to guide along the story, and then sometimes the video would just be the in-game models moving around, which really wasn't that big of a deal. It's just sometimes it'd be video, and then sometimes you get the game models, and of course it'd be a big drop in CGI, and it'd be like, huh? Kind of a really uneven feeling. Nothing heartbreaking or anything, but just that kind of stood out to me. And besides that, it's a really fun game. I mean, sure, it's probably got its faults. I mean, it's a licensed game. It's not going to be, game of the year or anything, but it was a fun licensed game. And I stayed up all Friday night and played my way completely through it and beat it in like one sitting. Not saying it wasn't easy, because I did die a few times. And I'm going to say the Ratchet level inside the Nemesis was pretty damn maddening to blood pressure getting raised levels. But aside from that, it was a pretty fun game. I thought Thunder Thunderwing being in the game quite a bit, though he was more similar to his IDW appearance, as in a giant monster, as opposed to the Thunderwing that I really like from Marvel continuity. But he's still fun, and it was a pretty fun game. It does have its faults, but it was definitely good for $1, and it's definitely good for full retail. So you could do worse. I got some listener or viewer questions where I kind of farmed out some to have topic fodder. Hopefully, I get to do them all this episode. If not, what I don't have will be answered next episode. So if I don't get to you, sorry, but I will. Joseph Shivak on Facebook asks, "How come we can't get microns from Hasbro? Do they paint jobs overseas way better? Why do paint jobs overseas look way better than they do in the States? Why can't we get some of those tiny rainbow matrices for our MP primes?" Okay. First off, don't know. Hasbro basically kind of just said there's a whole bunch of reasons why they can't do microns here. Some people say it's probably for toy safety. Like, standards are different here in America. Some people think just it's because it's a price issue. I'm pretty much thinking it has more to do with a focus group testing where it might not have worked out really well in those. I.e., adult fans probably think it's a great idea. The kids might not have. Though, kids you think would. Maybe those they tested on didn't, being that the Microns are kind of little model kits. So I don't know. However, it looks like they might show up in the UK in like trading card type packaging. So that might work its way here to America. Who knows? So it's one of those no one really knows why except Hasbro, and even they're like, look, there's a lot of reasons we can't do it. So, and truthfully, I'm with you guys. I'd rather have the Microns, but not enough to pay $40 instead of $15 for a figure. Okay, and why do paint jobs overseas look like they do in the States? That's probably up to interpretation because the Prime toys in Japan basically don't have that much paint job, and it's all stickers that you have to put on yourself. So it goes both ways. They're probably like, hey, how come they get paint? They're probably wondering that looking at their news feeds. But for the ones that do like the generations and stuff, it's very simple. And it's very annoying, but it's the truth, and there's no apologizing in this or anything. Japan's a different market than the rest of the world. And I'm not saying it because I've never been to European stores or whatever, but Hasbro puts them out everywhere else but Japan, where Takara Tomy does. And there's a big good reason. Walmart doesn't drive prices in Japan. So while here, like in the States, I'll speak of the States, you have big box retailers that are the basically main money makers for retail toy lines. And they demanded at some point, G2 B stores, that everything be put to price points. So that way their shelf, it works out for their inventory system, and it works out for them, period, for them stocking it. And what that basically means is figures have to fit into price points. So Hasbro has to take these designs, Scout, Cyberburst, Deluxe, whatever, and make that each toy work to be profitable in each price point. And sometimes that means less paint apps, maybe less gimmicks, or sometimes they've had to actually add where, I think it was Scattershot and Cybertron, turned out they're like, hey, there's not enough for the money in this toy design where he came out smaller or whatever. I think there's some mistranslation in a fax or whatever why he came out smaller than he did. So they quickly designed another weapon to put in the package with him. So that way they're like, hey, we don't want to rip anyone off for the price they're paying. Of course, some people, the more cynical now, might be like, have you seen the size of the Deluxes? And I'm like, yeah, that was like 7 years ago. But Japan, their retail situation, it's not. I'm looking at what I have handy by. Is that a word? And nothing in reach that'll really defy me. But say, oh, here, I got candy at my desktop. These 2 packs of Halloween candy. Here, if at the same store, they would have to be the same price in this location. Japan, this one could have a super ornate package, and this one could be exactly the same, an exact same product, and they could put it side by side on the shelf. And this one with the super ornate packaging, it's okay to charge a few more dollars for it. And that's just how their retail works. So Takara gets to do all those fancy things because their market allows for it. While with the websites and the fan clubs and all that, Hasbro could probably look into it and do it more. At the end of the day, that's a giant big company that's out there to make money, and Walmart still makes more profit for them than, say, Big Bad Toy Store. So maybe one day it might get to that, but right now it's more of an uneasy water situation, being that toys themselves are not selling that well right now, while video games are really kind of taking the field still. And why can't we get some of those tiny matrices? Who's to say we can't? I mean, the matrices that Takara has done before has found their way into U.S. toys. Look at the Masterpiece Hot Rod, and look at the look at that Reveal the Shield set with Rodimus and Cyclonus. It came with a little matrix that was the little necklace matrix from a reissue. They could find their way into a gift set or exclusive or something, or who knows, maybe like a giveaway or something. And that's up to Hasbro. So that's why they haven't yet. Don't ask me, dude. I don't work there. I fabricate granite for a living. Um, as if they can't, who's to say they can't? So just watch and see. Joseph Shivak, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, dude. Also asks, can future exclusives shared between Toys R Us and Hasbro Toy Shop because my store never has the Asia figures I'm looking for? That's up to the retailers. Believe it or not, Hasbro Toy Shop is not owned by Hasbro. That is a retailer who's licensed the name and sells exclusively Hasbro product, while not being an Hasbro-owned identity. Though being that it's licensed, Hasbro does own enough in it to basically, I guess, shut them down if they felt the need. So it would basically have to work out between Hasbro and Hasbro Toy Shop to work out a deal for them to carry them. As far as other retailers, the same way. Toys R Us, being that they are a large toy-only retailer in the world of Walmarts that are taking everyone else's thunder, including Toys R Us, they're willing to have exclusive lines and do these things. So it's definitely possible for it to happen. It's just, I guess, up to the deals they come to, because you're talking about one corporate CEO and another corporate CEO. You know, you're two different identities. So if they could come to a agreement, then yeah, it could happen. And your toy store never has the Asia exclusives, just keep looking, dude. And be militant about it. I mean, that's the only way I got the ones I got. You'll eventually get them, because now that the holidays are coming in, they're probably going to be restocking more. So just be patient. I'm sure you'll find them. And if not, that's just the way it rolls sometimes. I mean, you know, hopefully you find them when you get the money to spend on them. So good luck with that. Alright, let's see if I got time for another one here. Our buddy Mike Carvalho, I'm sorry, dude, I'm really terrible with the English language, despite it being the only one I speak. Asks, is anyone looking forward to Season 3 of Prime? This guy. What would you like to see from this show? Is this Beast Hunters thing's jumping the shark? I don't think Beast Hunters is jumping the shark. And it goes into what I would like to see from the show, and that's for a little bit of refreshment. And being that since late 01, we've been pretty much straight vehicle-based Transformers. That's when Beast Era kind of winded down, and Rid started up and went to AEC and everything. And yeah, putting some Beasts back in the mix could be a good thing for just to freshen it up some. I've seen not just myself feeling, it'd be great to see something a little different. I've seen a lot of people on message boards and Twitter and other outlets saying it would be nice to get something a little bit different along the line. So I think not only is Beast Hunters not jumping shark, but probably a safe way, as Beast modes in the past have refreshed the line in a refreshing manner. So being that they're vehicles versus beasts, that's a nice little refreshment. That way everyone gets a little something. As far as what would I like to see in the show, well, being that we got the Predacons coming in, and the Dinobots are kind of hinted at maybe not, I like to see Star Seekers come into play, being that they are a neat faction, and that they are beast-based and pirates and their own thing. I know they're going to be heavily in the Transformers universe MMO, but I like to see them in the show to really flesh them out some. Though I do admit it would be neat keeping them sort of these guys are meant for the dorks, bad guys. But yeah, I'd like to see them in it. And hell, maybe surprise me, come something out of left field, I wouldn't complain. And also, Mike Carvalho goes on to ask, or is TF Prime just missing the mark? I don't think so. If I think anything, we're probably wanting more out of it than it's possible as fans. So, I don't think so. Thanks, guys, for the questions. And I'm fixing to record a supplemental to this because I'm running out of time. So tune in a few minutes later to catch part 2 of this episode. Thanks for watching, Holmes.